We'll end with the Copa Libertadores. The final is set. It will be an all-Brazilian final, Palmeiras against Santos at the Maracanã on January 30th. I do
Who
want
you
to
got? Who you got?
Well, I do want to revisit the semifinal second legs because there's a lot to unpack there, particularly with the one took place last Tuesday between Palmeiras and River Plate. Listen, I will get to Palmeiras' putrid performance in 1 second, but I do want to address the refereeing first. The one decision I thought he got wrong was that second yellow to Rojas. I thought that was a very harsh sending off of the River defender. But the three big decisions in which he consulted VAR, VAR got absolutely right. VAR had a good night. And it's not just me saying this. The Argentinian media thought so too. That River goal early in the second half, that was an amazing job by VAR to spot that offsides, because to the naked eye, that looked like a perfectly good goal. We were all wondering, what the heck are they even checking here? But then when you took it back, you saw, oh yeah, in the buildup, there was an offsides. The penalty that he gave and took away, I thought when you saw that replay from behind, it was clear that the River player threw himself on the ground before there was any contact. I had no issues with that. And then the penalty appeal at the end, it doesn't matter if the Palmeiras player fouled him or not, because there was an offsides beforehand when the ball was played to Santos Borré. And it's just funny to me. I know you feel the same way. People have gotten to this place with VAR where its mere involvement is inherently controversial. And it almost doesn't matter if they get the calls right or not. The headline is written the same way. All the headlines from this game were VAR saves Palmeiras and River left to rue VAR. And if you didn't watch the game, you'd think VAR must have gotten all the calls wrong the way the headline is written. So I don't know. People have gotten to this place. They're so anti-VAR where VAR impacting the outcome of a game is just inherently controversial and cheap in their minds. Do you get that sense that that's how people look at it now?
Well, no, I think it goes back to what the fear was from the very beginning, in that the way that you watch a game has been altered. And I think that's where a lot of the angst comes from. To your point, you can go and say VAR did exactly what it was supposed to do, exactly what we promised, and ultimately got everything right. But I think that still, I mean, we've been doing this for a while now, but still there are those that it's such an awkward and uncomfortable type of jolt that happens, and non-traditional relative to most of their viewing past, that they can't get over that. They can't adjust to a new way of viewing. Now, there's a whole generation that's not going to think twice about it. You know, that delayed gratification, that drama and that theater that now has been inserted into the viewing process of a game is going to be second nature. It's just going to be part of the game. That is their new tradition. But there's still a lot of people that just, like I said, just find it very jarring and have a very difficult time accepting that their experience is not what it was 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago.
But yeah, as for the game itself, I mean, it's absolutely farcical that River didn't go through. They were the much better team. On balance of play, they should have won that game 6-0. And it's so disappointing because I'll give Palmeiras a little bit of a break. That team is dead tired. The Brazilian calendar post-pandemic has been insane, and they've gotten the worst of it because they're still in 3 competitions. But nevertheless, there's been this reckoning in Brazilian football in the last year, this recognition that Brazilian football has been in the dark ages for the last 2 decades and just become too ugly and pragmatic and needed to change. And so they've started bringing in all these foreign managers with fresh ideas, and you've started to see an impact. The football is getting better, more expansive. And that Palmeiras performance in that second leg was just sort of reverting back to everything I've hated about Brazilian domestic football for the last 20 years. So it was just so disappointing to watch. They played kickball for 90 minutes. It was embarrassing. You know, if you're tired, the way to mitigate that is to actually hold on to the ball and be able to knock it around. And they showed no ability to do that. So that was disappointing. So I can understand why River fans like our colleague Johnny Araya were just completely furious that River didn't go through after watching that game. Now, the other semifinal, hats off to Santos because they left nothing to doubt. They, after a 0-0 draw at La Bombonera, where they were already the better team in that game, they then dusted off Boca at home 3-0. So they surge into this final. It's going to be terrific. I'm looking forward to it. Now, the ultimate indignity for Brazilians would have been an all-Argentinian final at the Maracanã, but from a sort of intra-Brazilian level, there's something similar at play here because this final is in Rio de Janeiro and it features 2 Paulista São Paulo clubs. And so there's a big rivalry between Rio and São Paulo there. So folks in Rio de Janeiro aren't too thrilled about this matchup. They wanted Flamengo to be in there, the Carioca club. Nevertheless, it's a all Brazilian final, January 30th at the Maracanã. We've got,
will there be
11 days
a percentage of fans there? How are they working it down there in Brazil?
No fans.
No fans. An empty Maracanã.
Empty Maracanã.
Wow. All right, so who you got? Who you got if you had to pick?
I would slightly lean Palmeiras.
Okay.
But that's not delivered with a lot of conviction.
Okay. All right. Well, we will see. What day is that?
January 30th.
January 3rd. All right, well, we'll look forward to that happening, and we'll talk about it when it does.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops every week. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.